guys, and welcome to another edition of Market Marauders. Beating the market, one trade at a time. The Market Marauders is an investment channel, helps you find best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in, make sure that subscribe button down below and that thumbs up definitely helps the YouTube algorithm. So I'm coming to you with a small recap of the vice presidential debate. It happened yesterday, so just going to give you a couple of highlights, three just main topics that I saw, and each candidate's response to it. And at the end, I'll give a synopsis of what I think this means for the future of the economy. So let's jump into it. So the first question that I wrote down that I thought was impactful was COVID not under control. What are plans to combat this if you win the election? So Senator Harris said 7 million people have been deceased since the pandemic started, basically. The Trump administration knew on January 28th and did nothing. And she also said, regarding the vaccine, she said, I'll be the first in line to take the vaccine unless Trump says to take it. So it was very strange that she said she would be the first to take the vaccine if science says it, but if Trump says it, then no. Also, she said the Trump administration still does not have a plan. So, in response to that, Vice President Pence said President Trump closed the borders and travel, while former VP Biden said that the plan was xenophobic. He said, since the pandemic has started, 115 million people have been tested, and Operation Warp Speed will have a vaccine by the end of the year. So Operation Warp Speed is basically a group of companies that the U.S. is backing to have a vaccine produced. And I'll talk more about that in my synopsis. So it says, we trust the American people to do what is right for them and for their families. So the second topic that came across that I want to touch on that I think can affect the economy is climate change. The climate is changing. What do you plan to combat continuous climate change? So Senator Harris said the Green New Deal will help the economy as well as create jobs for American people. We will join back the Paris Accord that basically the Trump administration has said that they have left. So Pence's response was that Trump has signed the Outdoors Act, will continue to be out of the Paris Accord, and opposes the Green New Deal because it puts regulations on companies and American people that won't help them. So basically the Green New Deal, I think, is like a $2 trillion plan to just upgrade buildings, roadways, and make things a lot greener and more efficient to help the climate. It's also supposed to create a large number of jobs as well, but it is a substantial amount of money, and it's going to be funded by increasing taxes. So just bear that in mind. Go look into the Green New Deal. It's very interesting the way that is actually signed out. And then go look at the Outdoors Act. So I'm not too familiar with the Outdoors Act since it was just recently signed, but I do remember President Trump during his speech talking about having forest control and people monitoring, areas like California that are susceptible to burning. So last one that I'll talk about, and one of the major issues that I think everybody was waiting for, is when it comes to the case of Breoona Taylor, was justice done? So Senator Harris said, we'll continue to fight for values that we hold dear. Justice was not served, and George Floyd's situation, justice was not served as well. So she brought up the George Floyd situation, which, if you're not familiar, just Google George Floyd, and then compared that to the Breoona Taylor situation. She said she will restrict chokeholds used by police officers that have killed many of innocent people. She proposed a national registry for police and legalization of marijuana, as well as releasing those on minor drug offenses. So during this, answer to this question, kind of rambled off a lot of different things towards the end of it, but those are a couple of the proposed suggestions that they were saying, or that she's saying that they would try to do to help that situation. Now, Pence's response was George Floyd was an awful situation. We stand with the police and law enforcement that risk their lives every day, and peaceful protests are okay, but looting and burning of businesses is not accepted and will not be tolerated. So, basically, both sides seem to be, divided on the issue, as I expected them to be. What interested me about Harris's response is that she said they would, change policing and chokeholds and things of that nature, and have a, national registry for police. I'm pretty sure that already exists. Like once you join the police force, they basically know who you are from any district. As well as she was DA of California, or had a higher up law enforcement position in California. So at one point in time, she did have the power to do, these proposed things. So why now would she do them instead of before, when she had the power to do it when she was over California, it not get done? Um, and then also for the legalization of marijuana portion, under her term, or when she served in California, majority of the cases that she locked up were African American males for drug possession, and that's kind of her rise to fame. Her lockup rate was very high, so I thought it was interesting that she was, saying she was going to relax those policies, given the fact that her whole career was based off of locking people up for drug offenses. Um, Pence's response was also, very interesting to me, but it kind of fit the narrative that has been, spoken throughout the whole country. So, you know, Harris to me kind of seemed to be along the lines of uh, Blue Lives and Black Lives Matter narrative. And Pence to me seemed to be more of along the line of just Blue Lives Matter, and standing with people who have small businesses. So, what does this mean for the economy? In my opinion, I think in the future, whomever is president, if you're looking at Joe Biden being president, they're going to pass all these regulations for environmental things and environmental companies. So I would say, look at companies like Tesla, look at companies like Plug Power, look at companies like Workhorse, look at companies like basically any company dealing with renewable energy and the sort of green technology that's out there. Um, Look at those companies for the future. Workhorse is another one for electric vehicles. Um, any company dealing with EVs, any company dealing with renewable energy or renewable power. Definitely look at those companies. Fuel cells, another one. Uh, so look at those companies if Biden wins his presidency, because I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure, that Green Deal is going to get passed, and those companies will be the ones that will directly benefit from that. If President Trump wins, I would say look at the companies, like banks, Bank of America, J.P. Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo. Look at companies like Apple. Look at other companies that have continued to grow. Amazon, AMD. The ones that are basically doing okay right now, I would say, keep your eyes on those for the continuous growth in the future, because they definitely have been able to benefit through this pandemic, and I think they will continue to benefit even when President Trump is president again, or if he becomes president again. And then lastly, I say for the immediate future, one of the things that stuck out to me is that he said Operation Warp Speed will have a vaccine by the end of the year. So to me, that basically means, keep your eyes out on companies like Moderna, Inovio, AstraZeneca, GlaxoSmithKline, and Pfizer. So those are the top five companies that are in the vaccine race. You can also add Johnson and Johnson to that one. Today, Ellie basically said that, or ticker sign LLY, basically said that they were going to uh, distribute the vaccine. So look at companies like that, American pharmaceutical companies, large cap American pharmaceutical companies, and look how they are going to perform in the near future. So those are what I'll say. Look forward to getting closer towards November or towards the end of November. So whichever candidate wins, a vaccine will still be in the works. So those are ones that you could, definitely bet on now. Those will be sure bets. Any vaccine related company is definitely a sure bet. So good luck to everybody trading out there. Hope this video helped you. Make sure you drop a comment down below, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.